Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hope all of you are doing very well. Welcome to the new semester and welcome everyone. Today we all explore how to create inclusive e-learning experiences by mastering WCAG compliance and also ensuring the accessibility for all learners. Myself, Reema Shaheen, and I'm a trainer of the e-learning center. This is basically our training session series, which we are conducting to giving you an awareness about the e-learn. So let's dive into the practical strategies that make digital learning truly impactful. The first question is why inclusive design matters. If I explain or elaborate this in inclusive e-learning, that the inclusive e-learning refers to the creation and delivery of educational content, tools, and experiences designed to cater to the diverse need of the all learners, regardless of their abilities, background, or circumstances. This approach emphasized accessibility, usability, and engagement. Ensure that the student with this disability, language barriers, or other challenges can fully participate in and benefit from the educational opportunities. Inclusive e-learning often integrates features like the alternative text of images, captioning for videos, screen readers for compatibilities, and the flexible learning path to accommodate a variety of learning styles and needs. If I want to discuss about the importance of accessibility in education, just quickly in two lines, then we can say that accessibility in education is not just a legal or ethical obligation. It is a fundamental aspect of creating equitable learning environments. When education is accessible, it removes the barriers that might otherwise prevent students from achieving their full potential. This inclusivity fosters a culture of fairness and respect, empowering all learners to excel. Moreover, the accessible educational benefits everyone as features like the closed captions or well-structured content can be enhanced the usability of the learner without disabilities, such as those studying in non-native language or in a noisy environment. By prioritizing accessibilities, education institutes not only comply with the legal standards but also unlock the potential of diverse talent pools, drive innovations, and set an example of inclusive practices across the industries. The importance of inclusive e-learning become particularly evident when we examine statistics about students with disabilities in higher education. So, according to the recent studies, approximately 19% of undergraduate students in the US reported having a disability. And in Saudi Arabia, 7 to 10% having disability students. These disabilities include the physical impairments, learning disabilities, mental health condition, and sensory disabilities. Students with disabilities face unique challenges with low retention and graduation rates that compares to their peers. Accessibility barriers, lack of support, and inadequate accommodations are significant contribution to these disparities. Effective inclusive design and accommodations can significantly improve academic outcomes, enhance retention rates by much as 20% of the students with disabilities. Let's know about the WCAG. WCAG, or a Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, is a globally recognized set of standards developed by the World Wide Web Consortium W3C, and its purpose is to ensure that the web content is accessible to all users, including those with disabilities. So, these guidelines provide recommendations for making the web content, such as the text, images, multimedia, and forms, usable by individuals with visual, auditory, motor, cognitive, or other impairments. Let's dive into the little more detail about the WC, that is abbreviated as POUR. POUR. So the WCAG is built on four foundation principles, collectively referred as a PER. So if I explain the perceivable, the first one, P, represent the perceivable. That is, information and the user interface element must be presented in a way that all user can perceive. For example, text alternatives for images, captioning for videos, and content just creating for the screen must be a screen reader. If I explain the operable, that is, the user interface component and navigation must be operable by all the users, including those relying on assistive technologies. For example, keyboard navigations, avoiding the time sensitivity interactions, and providing options to pause or stop animations. Understandable means that information and the user interfaces must be understandable and predictable for the user. Very much clear language, consistent navigations, and error identification with helpful suggestion. The fourth one is the robust. The content must be robust enough to function with a wide variety of assistive technologies and future updates. For example, proper use of HTML and ARIA, that is a era that is accessible, rich internet applications, attributes to ensure the compatibility. Let's discuss about some related to these are all about related to WCAG principles, that is perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. So now we are going to move about discuss something related to the level of WCAG. We have the three levels. So WCAG defines a three level of related to indicating the degree or to which content meet accessibility standards. Level one is the most basic requirements for accessibility. For example, providing text alternatives for non-text content and ensuring content can be navigated with a keyboard. And if you're talking about the level that is AA, that is AA, you can read it out. That included educational standards, some additional standards to address the most common barriers. For example, sufficient color contrast, consistent navigations, and resize text up to 200% without loss of functionality. This is often the minimum standard for legal compliance. If you talk about the level AAA, that is the highest and the most rigorous level of accessibility. For example, sign languages interpretations for multimedia and enhance the support for users with cognitive disabilities. Achieving this level is very mandatory to fulfill all the content, not required for all the content. But if we are going to the level AAA, that must be fulfilled this level of all the requirements. Let's talk a little more detail about the perceivable. This is the first principle. So we have to know about some details while we are going to implement these kind of guidelines in our content creation, we should know the background of all these guidelines, rules, standards. So the overview about the perceivable principle, WCAG ensures that all information and the user interface elements are presented in a way that the user can perceive through at least one of their senses. This is particularly important for the individuals with visual or auditory impairments, ensuring they can access the same content as other users can. So we should have details about that key component of the perceivable content. The first one is the text alternatives for non-text content. Your non-text element like the images, icon, charts, infographics should include the descriptive text and alternatives. For example, a product image on an e-commerce site should have all text like the red running shoes with white soles. So this helps screen reader user to understand the content. This is the same for the implement for the education content as well. Captioning and audio descriptions for multimedia. Video and audio content must be include captioning for the hearing impaired users and audio descriptions for visual impaired users. A training video should have synchronized captioning displaying spoken dialogue and sound effects, while an audio description narrates important visual elements. When we talk about the color contrast requirement, text and its background must have a sufficient color contrast to ensure the readability, especially for user with the visual impairment and the color blindness. WCAG requires a contrast ratio of at least 4.5 ratio 1 for normal text and 3 ratio 1 for large text. For example, light gray text on a white background is a hard to read, but black text on a white background meets the accessibility standards. So, this explanation giving you a very clear idea about the principle. The purpose of explaining it deeply because you all are the educator. You need to design a course, not even for the face-to-face classroom, for even you have opportunity to create for the online classes as well. As in a design university, we do have a blended learning, like some of the learning are online, some of the learning are offline, and it also contain on our digital sources resources like the ppts, some content on a pdf and something like that. So you have to know these standards to make your course more accessible, not even for the a user which are regular users of and students, but also the students are connected with the design university who have the disabilities. So we should care about it. We should fulfill these standards. To fulfilling these standards, we should know what are the standard, what is the meaning of that standard. So now I want to explain about one example, that is accessible versus inaccessible content. Before, an image without alt text or a video without captioning, leaving screen reader user and those with hearing impairments unable to access the critical information. So after the image include descriptive alt text or video feature closed captioning and the audio descriptions making it accessible to all user. Let's talk about the second principle, that is the operable. The operable principle of WCAG ensure that user interface elements and navigations are usable by all individuals regardless of their physical abilities. This principle is particularly critical for users relying on assistive technology, such as screen readers, keyboard only navigations, or alternative input devices. So, what is a keyboard navigation? That is all interactive element such as links, buttons, forms, fields must be accessible via keyboard. This ensures usability for individual unable to use a mouse or a touchpad, just touchpad or touch-based input devices. For example, in a learning management system, users should be able to navigate between the menus, play videos, and submit assignments using only the tab, enter, or arrow keys. Time to task completion. User must have a sufficient time to read and interact with the content. The time sensitive feature like the auto logout or a timed quizzes should include option to extend or disable the timer. A timed quiz in an LMS should allow user to request additional time or pause the timer if needed, ensuring equitable access for those with the cognitive or motor impairments. In the learning management system, Blackboard have this opportunity because Blackboard is a totally designed for with the accessibility features. So if you remember that when you upload the assignment, there is an option to give this assignment to the specific set of the students, and also you can give personally the student the extendable submission date or some this kind of the different favors to a student if he have some disabilities or some kind of things. So these all categories in one platform is giving the opportunity to the all the disabled students to be participate in a with the system equally. So avoiding the content that may trigger the seizures, like content must not be include the element with the flashing or struggling light that could trigger or pose risk for user with photosensitive epilepsy. Like we have some of the disabled students have the issue with the animation. There is some animation or videos transition, and LMS should have a flash rate of less than 3 times per second, or include warning with the option to skip or disable such content. The user who have the issues with the eyes, they must be triggered by these kind of the things. So I want to explain a very clear demo in front of you. That scenario, a demo only the keyboard. So before the user struggle to access a certain section because they are not keyboard friendly, such as drop-down menu without focus indicators. And if the LMS is designed with the keyboard accessibility, enabling smooth navigation through all the features using the tab or the enter key. So this is a more accessible platform for all covering all the standards of the accessibilities. The third principle, understandable. The understandable principle of WCAG ensure that the information and the user interfaces are presented in a ways that user can easily comprehend. This is a critical for the individuals with the cognitive disabilities, language barriers, or limited technical skills, as well as for ensuring a seamless and intuitive user's experience. The key component of understandable interface is the clear and consistent navigation. Navigation manual and interface layout should be intuitive and consistent across a page or section. This predictability helps user to locate information and interact with the content very effectively. For example, our learning management system should have a same menu structure for every course with clearly labeled sections like modules, assessments, and grades, so it will be help a clear navigation path. Readable text with the plain language, like the text content should be simple, concise, and free of the jargons, like using the plain language help user of all literacy level understand the material. For example, instead of execute the action to finalize the process, use click. The error identification and suggestions, like interface should clearly highlight errors and provide actionable suggestions to correct them. This ensures that user can recover from the mistake without frustration. For example, if a form is submitted with an input required field, the system should display a message like please enter your email address instead of just error. So here is an example which can make the more clear in a understanding about what I'm talking about. That is a simple navigation and error message. The before navigation menu are cluttered with the inconsistent label across page, like home on one page and the main on another page. So navigation is streamed after you can see that the navigation is streamed with a consistent label and logical grouping of items like dashboard, courses, profile. And the example two, that the clear error message that before you invalid password and receive a generic error like login failed. But it should be like that the system provide the guidance such as password must be at least 8 characters and include a number. So this is a basically clear understanding to the user that what is actually the issue is. Number four, robust. This principle of WCAG ensure that the web content and the digital platform are compatible with various technology, including assistive tools like screen reader, magnifiers, voice recognition software. This principle focus on the maintaining the long-term accessibility, ensuring content remains usable as technology evolves. By following best practices, a developer can create a content that is accessible across different browsers, devices, and assistive technologies. So I want to mention one of thing here that there is if any one of you is facing or any student is facing the issue in the open the learning so they have to select especially this happen on the iPhone, so they have to be select the Safari as their default browser and then they try to log in and then they will be able to open the virtual lecture very easily. So this is a basically time to give you a very real example that how these kind of little things can help students to make the thing easily. Like Blackboard is a very accessible features and have all the assistive technology and all the browser compatibility with it. So if somebody in a student is facing this problem that their learning management system virtual lectures are not open, just they go to their settings and they have to set their Safari as their default browser, so it will be work. So the key component of the robust content compatibility with assistive technology. What does it mean? That the content must function correctly with assistive technology to ensure accessibility for users with disabilities. If a website or application does not properly support screen readers, keyboard navigations, or speech recognition software, user may struggle to interact with it. So the best practices ensure web elements have proper roles, labels, and attributes so assistive technology can interpret them accurately. For example, a website should also allow the user to navigate the menu, fill out the forms, and read the content smoothly with a screen reader like Java's or NVDA. These are the two kind of the screen readers which can help to read the screen for the disabled users. Okay, the second thing is use a valid and semantic HTML. What does it mean? Using the properly structured and semantic HTML ensure that the web content is meaningful and interpretable by assistive technology. Screen reader rely on the well-structured HTML to convey information accurately to user with visual impairments. So the best practice for this one is use the appropriate HTML elements for their intended purposes instead of relying on generic elements like div or span or interactive components. For example, there is a one of the code that is incorrect and which is not for the screen reader, which is not recognized as a button by the screen reader, and the other code which is accessible and recognized. So this is recommended simply. Regular accessibility test. This is the important part that the regular testing for accessibility is mandatory. Website and application should undergo the frequent accessibility testing to identify and resolve the issues. This include automated testing, manual testing, user testing with individuals who rely on assistive technology. So the best practice for this is use accessibility evaluation tools and conduct user testing, ensure compliance with WCAG guidelines. For example, you have to run the accessibility audit using the tools like Wave, Axi, or Lighthouse. These are the different software which help you to audit your content and test and navigations and readability with the screen reader and the keyboard only access. Gather feedback from the user with the disability to improve the accessibility. So I conclude, if I want to conclude these four main parts. So the robustness is basically that this fourth one is robust. So it's designed to ensure that digital content remain accessible across the various platform, devices, and assistive technology by maintaining the compatibility using the semantic HTML and conducting regular accessibility tests. Developers can create inclusive digital experience that benefit all the users. So now let's talk about the accessibility tools for the educator. If you're talking about the screen readers, these are the JAWS and NVDA. These are the two kind of the software which can convert on screen text into the speech, so it can visually. It's very feasible for the user who have the visual impairments. Like best practice for this is use proper headlines, alt text, and structure content. If you're talking about the accessibility checkers, like I mentioned, that two kind of the software that is Wave and Exit that is scan digital content for accessibility issues and provide WCAG compliance recommendations as well. So the best practice for this one is regularly test and fix the accessibility barriers. Captioning tools. That is the Otter.ai YouTube Studios. These are the captioning tools of your video that generate captioning for video to support user with the hearing impairments. So for this, best practice is ensure the caption are accurate and synchronized. So now let's talk about best practices of e-learning content. Creating accessible e-learning content ensure that all learners, include those with disability, can fully engage with the benefit from the digital education material. So I want to explain some of the main things related to this e-learning content generation or create interactive content for with the disabilities that use accessible template in your LMS. Like learning management system often provide a built-in template designed with the accessibility in mind. Using these templates ensure that the course content follows the best practice for readability, navigation, and assistive technology compatibility. For this, you have to choose the LMS template that support the screen reader, keyboard navigations, and the color contrast requirement. And the second thing is ensure the PDF and document are tagged properly. So many digital documents, including PDFs and the Word files, are not inherently accessible. Proper tagging and formatting are essential to ensure compatibility with the screen reader and the other assistive technologies. For this, basically, a syllabus saved as an accessible PDF with the properly tagged heading and allow a visual impaired students to navigate the document efficiently with the screen reader. So provide multiple formats is a mandatory that the video transcript and audio recording, offering content in a multiple formats, ensure that all learners, regardless of ability, can access and engage with material in a way that suit their needs. So for this, the best practice is to provide a video transcript, or for the learner who have the deaf or hard of hearing, include audio recording of text-based material for students with the impairments with the reading difficulties. So you have to record a lecture should have a text, a transcript, or closed caption, so students can read along if needed. As we are using the Zoom platform, when we done with the recording, and we go to the going to download that recording, there is also a text transcript related to the your audio. According to your audio, according to your video, there is a text form of all the content in a text form as well. So all the known softwares which are we are using have these standards, fulfilling these standards. This is on us that we have to use these kind of all the requirements and recommendation which we are getting from WCAG, and we can implement very easily. So here is one of the graph from the studies that you can see the word impact of WCAG compliance. You can clearly see the difference about the originals and the normal activities with the majority on time or close, with the improved for the accessibility system. Okay, now let's move toward to know about how to achieve that digital accessibility in higher education. First of all, we have to check the compliance check and also address the digital accessibilities early. Structure monitoring and oversight is very important. Accessibility training is very important. Like right now, I'm giving you a training to know the awareness about the what actually the accessibility, how we can implement, which are the basic levels and which are the implemented things with example, that how you will be able as an educator to put accessibility concept in your mind to make your content according to them as well. Also embed the accessibility into an institutional process as well. So now let's move to know about the which accessibility features we do have with the Blackboard Learn Ultra, as we are a user of a Blackboard. So we have a one huge content creation with the learning management system Blackboard. So we should know this feature that we do have accessibility features and how we can generate our content more accessible with the standards within this learning management system platform. So first thing is content editor accessibility feature in Blackboard Learn Ultra. Let's have a look and know how we can implement it.
The editor appears wherever you can format text. It provides text editing functions and much more. Let's take a look. Use the options in the editor to add headings, format.
So the first thing, that add a heading, add a clear heading related to the text. The text should be the clear colors, the clear navigation of that all text. So to creating a text, you have a one editor here, content editor. So you can use this all the features which is helping you to create a text content properly.
Text and add tables. Select the list icon to add numbered and bullet list.
So this is a view of the inside to creating any kind of the content which is having all the formatting tools inside it, where you can easily use and directly make a content on this content editor.
Insert links, images, videos, and other media. Select the plus icon. Select the icon for the content.
Even you can add the image and the videos as well within this content editor and content area. If you want to add this, you just click on a plus sign and you will upload image, any kind of the video, you can use it.
You want to add, paste the URL, add alternative text, and then select insert. You can also launch the math editor to embed mathematical formulas in your text. And finally, you can upload files from your computer or add additional content such as YouTube videos or other files from your cloud storage.
So these all opportunities to give your content make e-learning rich content, which is containing the text with the all the different categories of the headings and the all the navigations, and plus the images, videos, the YouTube videos, and also some kind of related to the math formulas and these kind of things. So even the table creation link embedded you can do, and you can also upload your attachment from your system as well. So this is giving a one complete package to you to create your content properly.
The editor.
Now the next thing is the using the Blackboard accessibility checker. What is accessibility checker? Let's have a look about it.
Using the Blackboard Accessibility Checker. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to use the
Before this tutorial, I want to tell you one thing. When you are creating any kind of content and you are just worried about is it accessible for the student or not, so no issue, we have in a Blackboard opportunity that you can upload and check your content accessibility. So now we are going to know that how we will be able to check the accessibility, either my content is accessible or not. Let's have a look how we can able to check it.
accessibility checker that's built into the Blackboard text editor, which is also sometimes referred to as the virtual editor. For this example, I'm just going to create an announcement. I'll name my announcement. Now I'm going to paste in some text. Then I'm going to insert an image into this announcement. I do that by placing the cursor where I want the image to go and clicking the plus sign, selecting Insert Local Files, and then navigating to the image that I want to insert. I click on the image and click Open. And now the image is inserted. Now, in this case, I want to make the image a little bit smaller, so I right-click and select Image, and I'm going to change the width to is automatically changed. Now, if I just click Save here, I have missed something that is required for accessibility. Let's say I wasn't aware of that. I could find that out by clicking the accessibility checker that's built into the text editor. You can find the accessibility checker by clicking this little icon of a person with their arms spread on the toolbar. And it tells me that I have one error, which is that my image has to have an alternative text description. And helpfully, it provides me a field where I can enter that in. I'm going to name this, and now I'll repair that problem. And there's no other accessibility.
So you can see whenever you upload any of the content, there is a one accessibility checker, and even it's giving you a recommendation where is the actually issue, and you can fix that issue easily.
Issues shown. Notice that if I right click on this now and go to image, it has inserted the alternative description of the graphic below my text. And that's all there is to it. Just follow the directions on the accessibility checker to fix any problems it might find. Just follow the graphic below my text.
Here I want to tell you one more thing. You can see here is the source or link source where it's uploaded. Here's the alternative text, and here's another thing that is very important: width and the height. When you want to change the actually the position of your image according to the width and the height, so you have to unlock this one you have to unlock, and then you set the width and the height of that image or even the video, and then you have to lock this one, so it will be saved according to your requirement. If you want to show up this one bigger, smaller, full screen or whatever, so you have to just put the size of the image or a frame, so you can do it very easily.
Screen sharing has stopped as the shared window is closed. Recording in progress.
Okay, now what? Let's talk about the LA. LA is a basically is embedded in the learning management system Blackboard. Let's have a know what is this accessibility feature. So let's move to this one. So LA's Blackboard LA helped to make the course content more accessible by providing the alternative formats, instructor feedback, and institutional report to improve all student learning experience. So this is a one kind of the feature which is embedded with the Blackboard, giving a opportunity to your content and that it's accessible and also provide the alternative formats as well of your documents and also the instructor feedback and institutional report as well. How it works, let's have a look. For students, let's see how LA works for the students.
If your school uses Blackboard Ally, you can download alternative formats directly from your course in a format that works best for you. Let's take a look. In your course, select the icon to the right of a file to access the menu, then choose the version that works best for your needs.
So you can see that there is a one icon which is similar like the letter A, which is an indicator of LA. So when you click on it as a student, when you open your Blackboard dashboard and there is some of the document or content of related to your course, so you have opportunity to download that your content or your file in a different other alternative format as well. So you can see the list of all the format have the different features of all these format. Which one is the easily for you? You can choose that one and you can easily download. Let's see how.
If you're not sure which format to download, be sure to check out our help site to help you decide.
So here is a help site, help.blackboard.com. So it's here you can check that which file have which features and which you can use it easily for your need as a student. For your need, you can check the alternative formats. So here's the list and also the different categories, which category for the which document files format is all the list is available here.
When you have found the format that you need, select Download. One final note. Instructors and administrators can turn off the alternative formats for an individual content item within a course. If this is done and you select alternative formats, you will see a message saying that the alternative.
So now it's up to the instructor if you allow the content to be downloaded by the alternative format. So it will be show up as I show you with the different alternative formats. If you are disable this feature of accessibility, it will be look like this for the students.
Formats are disabled.
So let's have a look what is these alternative formats and how it works.
Are you looking for course content that your multiple devices? Alternative formats transform your course files into different formats to help you learn better. Next to your course files, find the alternative format icon, review your options, and choose your preferred format. So what are your options? If the original file is a scanned PDF, you won't be able to highlight, copy and paste, or search for keywords, and the pages might be difficult to read. Try downloading the OCR PDF for a more readable, searchable document. If the original file is a Word or PowerPoint file and you need access to a PDF version or a smaller file size, try the tagged PDF. Are you trying to access a PDF of your course materials on your mobile device? Don't get distracted and slowed down by pinching and zooming the PDF. Download the mobile-friendly HTML format for a simpler, more responsive format that works great with your mobile device. Have you ever tried accessing your course files using an e-reader program? Free e-reader programs have great features for adjusting the font and contrast of your document, as well as note-taking and annotating tools. Download the EPUB alternative format to open the file in your preferred e-reader program. If you're a student who uses a refreshable Braille display, try downloading the electronic Braille format. It's a BRF file, so you can take a break from your screen reader for a more tactile experience. You can even listen to your course files by downloading the audio MP3 format. So if you're on the go or you just want to review your materials in a different way, try the audio MP3 file. If you're having trouble understanding your materials, you might try reading and listening at the same time to improve your comprehension. Having trouble focusing on your text or just want to be able to read faster? Download the Beeline Reader format to apply color gradients to your text to guide your eyes as you're reading. And lastly, the language translation format allows you to choose from among 50 different languages to translate your content into your preferred language.
So these are the all different.
Don't just limit yourself to one.
These are the different kinds of formats which help not even only for the disabled students, even the regular students. For example, they want to understand by just audio, or they have an issue with the readability or something, so they can use it as well. So it's a very variety for the students to use different kind of formats easily to understand the content properly. So how LA works for the instructor? Let's have a look at how it's worked. That it's improved the usability and accessibility of your content as an instructor. How you can use the LA that they generate the alternative format for students to download, and also provide accessibility score for your content as well, and give instructor feedback on how to improve the accessibility score. Ally is not just giving you opportunity to the students to download the different formats content, but even for the instructor as assistant, like you have ability to enable or disable the different formats. Plus, it will give you a score that your content is accessible in which level, and also give a feedback that how you can improve your content and which part of your content need improvement. So let's have a look at how the accessibility score indicators work. That LA measures the accessibility of each file attached to your course and show you at a glance how it scores. Scores range from low to perfect. The higher the score, the fewer the issues. So low mean that file is not accessible and need immediate attention. The medium, which is a little better, that is file is somewhat accessible and could use improvement, and the high mean the file is accessible but could be improved. The perfect mean the perfect. So no need to do any improvement or anything. So this is the basically indicator which show you that your content is accessible on which level. Instructor feedback, what does it mean? That we do have a one document and we give to the upload to the LMS, and we check the LA. By the LA, the accessibility checker is always so here is an option of your all the report. That 26%, it's mean you have the multiple issues with your content. Even it's giving you a opportunity to check all the issues, and you can resolve all the issues one by one, and you can upload the better version of it as well. So you can see the meter needs help if it's until the red, and if almost there, like you can do to figure out all most of the issues, and if it's green, it's mean you can go with it. So this is a best help for the instructor to check their document, that it's accessible or perfectly uploaded content for e-learning platform or not. So course accessibility report, what does it mean? When you upload a course, a complete course with multiple documents, the PDF documents, the images, the presentations, the HTML files, pages, so other items as well. So it's giving you a one complete report to submit to the institute. Like you can show up the report by the LA, which is generated. For example, the course is Introduction to Languages of all kinds. So it's giving you a one complete picture that you have all these content. So you have this core, and you have 38 content with the easiest issues to fix. So you can fix the issues, you can improve the score, and submit this report to your institute very easily. So let's have a look that overview implementation of ALE for the instructor, how we can implement these features and how we can improve our content for the e-learning platform.
Blackboard Ally works seamlessly with your learning management system to gauge the accessibility of your content. Let's take a look. When you upload files to your LMS, Ally automatically creates alternative versions, allowing students to.
So you can see that with every document or content, you can see this one here is the accessibility score generated by the LA. It's showing actually the quality of content that is low, medium, high, or perfect. So accordingly, it's available here. So here is the LA option, and here is the accessibility score in front of you.
Files to your LMS. Ally automatically creates alternative versions, allowing students to choose the type of file that best suits their needs. In addition to creating alternative versions of your files, Ally provides guidance and tips for lasting improvements to your content accessibility. You will see an accessibility score for each file you upload. Select the accessibility score indicator to view information on how to improve file accessibility. The instructor feedback panel provides everything you need to understand and fix the accessibility issues in your file. You can view the overall score for the file.
This is not even giving you a mark that where is a issue. Even it will give you explanation that what this mean and how to add the description as well. So the presentation contain an image that are missing a description. So it's giving you a complete assistance, like giving you a opportunity to know about the errors and even the path how you will be able to improve it.
Follow step-by-step instructions on how to fix the issue and upload an updated file to replace the existing one. And finally, if allowed by your system administrator, you can access your course accessibility report so you can get the big picture as well as specific details about the accessibility of your digital course content. The Overview tab shows the accessibility score for the course content group by content type, and a list of all the issues identified in the course. The Content tab shows you content with accessibility issues.
So this is all about accessibility implementation we do have in a Blackboard. So there is a lot of different options that you can use to make your content more accessible, and not even for the disabled students, for the regular students as well you can do it. So now it's time to just conclude it with that, which our coming accessibility barriers that the common challenges we face, that lack of awareness and the time constraints, that the many educators are unfamiliar with accessibility needs and how they can fix their content. So sessions like today is basically conducted for your awareness about the different kind of the features, like we conduct this workshop for faculty development programs for you all to know about the actually what are the standards, what are the levels, how you will be able to implement it with your content, how you will be able to check your content easily. Available resources are with you, you just need to be implemented simply. So what you have to need that you have a conduct accessibility audit. You don't need to be using these kind of the software, as you have a platform learning management system Blackboard. So if you are not working with the learning management system, you have the alternatives like the Wave, Agri, Lighthouse. These are the softwares which help you to audit your accessibility content, like the check PDF videos presentation for accessibility issues and gather feedback from students with disabilities, can help you to improve or audit, and also prioritize the key improvements like the fix high impact issues, set realistic goals, start with essential content, and also utilize institutional support and accessibility guidelines as well. So the incorporate accessibility LMS template that support the screen reader, create a WCAG checklist for new content.
It's 21 hours.
And the train educator through the workshops as we are doing right now. So a department adds accessibility check to the course approval process. So the future of inclusive e-learning, I want to just drop these some of the lines before ending this session, that accessibility matters, like the inclusive design removes barriers and benefits all learner. Educators' role create accessible content and advocate for the inclusivity. Call to action is that conduct audits, improve content, prioritize accessibility for a more equitable future. So small steps towards lead a lasting change in education as an educator. So it will be a big change in your content and in education industry as well. So if you have any question, you can ask me. If you want me to repeat anything, you can ask me simply. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for attending this session. If you have any question, you can ask me. I just want to remind you all that the participation and registration is mandatory part. So you have to register this session via link which is shared already, and also the attendance is mandatory. So you will get the certificate of this workshop.